Hello everybody, I'm Carolyn from Tranquil Mentor, and today we're going to be making wood slice Christmas ornaments using sublimation on EasySubli and these wooden slices that we got from Amazon. We used our Cricut Maker to cut out the shapes that you see, the circles and the scallop edges. We tried the Cricut cut and print and cut, and we did get the printout that's in my sublimation printer, and it's the Epson Eco Tank. And when I cut those out, everything was okay, but then we needed a little bit more pieces, so we ended up bringing the shapes over into Word. And here's just a square shape, and some of them were circle and scalloped, but we ended up doing this square space because we had to cut the other shapes out of the EasySubli because they don't have very many, you don't get very many shapes out of the Cricut print and cut. So we heated our Easy Press up to 380, and what I'm doing there is I just took the truck that I had, the sublimation, and I put it underneath the Easy Press for just a little while. And this is the EasySubli that was cut into one of the circles, and I'm lining that up. And you'll see too that I have I did quite a few of these, and then sort of got a routine down. But the Teflon that's underneath where my hands are right now is very slippery. So I did it to protect the table. But anyway, I'm putting a piece of regular computer paper underneath just to protect, not get the ink onto the Teflon sheet. And I'll take my image out from underneath. It's very hot under there, of course. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn it print side down and just take some time and try to line this up right. And I learned later on as I went through the process that there's definitely better ways to do things. When I'm lining this up right here, if I don't get it all the way covered over the circle, there's going to be a little indent, like a seam. So I'm taking my time to line that up. And I'm looking for the center and everything, lining up my circle. But another way to do it would be to have it already tacked down. Use the Cricut Easy Press just to tack down that EasySubli. And then we'll put our paper over, and we have this at 380, and we'll press for 45 seconds. And that's hot. You have to apply a lot of pressure here, very, very firm pressure. And knowing now, what I would suggest to do is to, like I said, tack that EasySubli down on the wood slice first, shiny side down, and then have like a mat that grips underneath, like a silicone mat would help. And right after I pressed, I noticed that the wood pieces raise up and they buckle. So I'm pressing down, I'm applying some firm pressure with another one of the slices, and I'm pushing down. And then now what we can do is we can reveal our image and see how we did. And I just slowly peeling that back, just taking a look at it, making sure that everything took. And there we have it. And that was one of the good images that came out. And I'm very happy with that. And this one here, these next few, in the middle, you'll notice a little bit of ghosting. And well, that's cut vinyl. That I wanted to do a couple pieces with the red and the green sparkle or glitter vinyl. And also these slices, we have to be careful when you're sublimating because they get you know, pieces all over them. And but with these pieces that ghost, it's just because that bows in. So, but here next, what we'll do is I want these to look vintage and very like they were just laying around in someone's attic or basement for years and years. So I'm tea staining, and I made a lot of tea with tea bags, and I think it was probably about 8 or 10 tea bags. And then I have a jar off to the side, and I'm dipping. I found that the tea bags really kind of pull everything up, and they make it you know, very, very dark. So you get this kind of puddling, which the camera really doesn't catch right now. But as they dry later, you know, you can see it more off the camera. And so as I'm getting more used to the process here, I'm squeezing that tea bag and dipping the tea bag back into the jar of tea. So I have a double whammy of of tea here. So, and if you see on here, you can see that I kind of get away with a little bit of that ghosting because I'm you know, de-stressing and putting that tea stain on. And this looks really pretty with the red glitter and the tea. And then here, you know, that's that image again that had some ghosting in the middle because of the indentation that the heat makes from the press. And that's one of those things, it's just hard to counteract that. You know, you can do pressure and everything. But I'm going to let these dry. And next I'm using this Behr wax. It's a brown wax. I'm taking a paper towel and one of my sponge brushes. And, you know, I like the way that these came out. The tea stain looks good, but I really wanted to get a little bit more kind of just have them look a little bit just rusticy and distressed, kind of farmhouse. So I'm going to take that sponge brush and take the paper towel and just really wipe off a lot of it just to get the hang of, you know, the look that we want. And I'm just going to lightly blend in from the sides to the middle here and just try to get a little bit of contour and a little bit of shape here, a little bit of dimension. And I do every once in a while try to get more on there, and it ends up just kind of being a little blobby. So I just wipe my brush off a little bit more and try to work from the outside in so I don't get too much of the brown. And the brown can be wiped off too, but because of this EasySubli, it's kind of fabric-like. It's really interesting to work with. I didn't know how I felt about it at first. It is extremely expensive, but you know, I wanted this certain look, and I didn't really want stickers. So, you know, I'm happy with this part of it and the way that turned out, but I just felt that they needed, you know, a little bit more distressing. And you can wipe some of it off, but it kind of, you know, after you get finished, you can wipe some of it off. So I have a few here, and, you know, I really love that look. So I got a sprig from Michael's here. They had some sales going on. So I just grabbed that, and then the berries, which I thought were just beautiful. I love that shine. And then they had some of these pine cones and cinnamon sticks. And then these are just some Dollar Tree bells that I had. And then here's some ribbon. That's from Michael's. I believe that's from Michael's. Yes. And I can't remember. I think that's from Joann's, the red. But so I'm going to take that ribbon, and what I'm showing now is this the slices, and inside the bag of slices from Amazon, they had twine, and they had this baker's twine. So I have that. This is from back in the fall, and my store doesn't usually get a lot of beads. So whenever I find anything, I grab it. and I just take the beads off and use them that way. The wooden beads are really, I really love the way that they look and how they, you know, the color of them and everything. So with this tree here, with this pick, I'm going to go through and I'm just going to look at some of the pine cones and just cut a few sprigs and just get a little bit of decoration on these so that they have a little something special. So taking my glue gun, and I got my finger protectors on because, you know, sometimes no matter what, I still burn myself. And sometimes I forget to put them on. But, you know, don't be like me. Be safe and take your time. This is, I just love Christmas, you know, as a lot of us do. But Christmas crafting is just a special time. And it's just such a relaxing, fun holiday. And I just like to really enjoy sitting down, sipping some hot chocolate, and, you know, maybe putting a little bit of Cool Whip on it and some marshmallows and just having a good old time. And what I'll do here is, got a little heavy on the glue here. So lesson learned on that. And, but what I will do later, we won't see that later. I'm going to cover any of the residual glue that's blobbing out. I'm going to cover that with some of the faux snow from Dollar Tree. And it was really bothering me. And I don't like the look of it. It just looks messy. So I'm going to take a couple of these berries and you know, when you're cutting them, they're going to fly across the room. So just put your hand over them. But they're so much fun. And they really give that extra dimension and color. And I'm just going to hold on to that, put a little bit of pressure on it. And, you know, I'd like to add a few more to that too. But they look good on their own as well. Yeah, I think with, you know, the Noel and everything, you know, with maybe just a red ribbon or some of the baker's twine. The baker's twine, I just had a thing with that. For some reason, I just couldn't do it. It wasn't giving me that rustic look, but, you know, later on, I'll use it a little bit more. But I'm using the twine for now that comes with all the slices. And just measuring this out. And I'm going to put a knot at the end there, just a little hanger. And I think it just gives this such a farmhouse look and, you know, that rustic look that we're going for. And that glue is bothering me, and I will end up putting some more glue on it and then, you know, some of the snow, and that'll cover it up, and it will actually look pretty. I've also seen some crafters, they'll take some Epsom salts and put a little bit of Epsom salts around either the berries, if they're the bigger berries, but they'll put them, you know, in the areas where the glue is, and it sort of covers it up, and it doesn't look like it was a mistake or anything. But, you know, as we go along, we find these ways and we improvise. And the little bow that's on there is one of those bows that you make with a fork. And I'm going to see if I can find the video that I used, but, and then I'll link that down below, but it just actually taking a fork and it makes the tiniest little bow, and it was just perfect for these ornaments. It wasn't overbearing or anything. And it just gave that extra little bit of color and texture to the ornament. And, you know, maybe this joy, next time I will put the words down a little bit lower instead of not so much in the center. But I love the way it came out. I'm really excited about them. And right here, there is some of the ornaments, the holes are in different spots, and some of them are different sizes. So it's a little bit difficult to really plan everything out. You just kind of have to move around a little bit. And some of the holes did get covered. So I just either took my tool that you see there, the little, that's a Dollar Tree tool that looks like a Cricut tool, but I used that. And then I just poked the holes through. And right here, I want a really plain, rustic-y look for this. And this bag of pine cones and cinnamon sticks, I wish you could smell them. It smells so good. It's just Christmas right there. I mean, it has all the smells that you could possibly want for Christmas. And I'm taking those sprigs again from the pick that I got from Michael's, and just planning them out. I'm thinking I want this is a little pine cone that is already attached to that pick. So I'm going to try to incorporate that and see, what that'll look like and if we can get enough. And this time what I'm doing is taking this off, and you'll see I have my a silicone mat, and I got that from Amazon. That's new, and I have it doubled up right now, but what I've been doing is taking that and gluing the sprigs on, not onto the mat, but gluing, and you'll probably see here what I'm talking about, but I decided, to try not to get so many blobs of hot glue. And I did try other glue too, and it was just not helpful. So I'm trying to do it off of the ornament and onto this silicone, and just making the little grouping on the mat before I get it onto there. And that really helps out a lot. You can see a lot less glue. And I think it's just easier to work with it too. And you're not going to get burned. And these little guys, I had them for ever and ever. I think this is back from scrapbook days. And I can't even remember where I got them. It had to have been one of the art supply stores or craft stores or something. But they have been around forever because I used to use them in the little shaker boxes and things like that. So we're going to open up these good smelling cinnamon sticks and pine cones, and let's see what we can do with one of these cinnamon sticks here. And I'm really going through and taking my time to find something, and I think this looks like a good size right here. And I'm just going to lay that across, keeping this neutral tone and, a very minimalistic tone. And then I have the little fork bow that I made, if that's a good name for it. and I'm just positioning it and taking a look and seeing how I want to get that all glued together. And I think, I'm sticking with this silicone mat setup that I've got going on here, and that's just working out so much better for me. So we'll put that cinnamon stick right there and put some pressure on it and hold it down a bit. And the hot glue is always such instant gratification too. All right, and I'll get some glue right on the cinnamon stick. It'll give me a little bit more control to where I can put this. But it's gonna look perfect. And just sometimes with the rustic ornaments, the farmhouse ornaments, I have to remember not to put too much color into them all the time, and just to keep them toned down. And I really like the way they look. I'm trying to see if I can put another sprig in here, and I just don't know how I feel about it. I just don't think I'm loving that. I think it's it's just plenty just to have this little bit on here. Take a minimalist approach and just go from there. And the ornament is, I've designed the ornaments in Canva, and I just love working with Canva for designs like this because they've got so many little frames and so much clip art and everything that you can put in. And the clip art that I worked with here was free. I didn't have the paid version. And the little car or little truck is actually from a photo when I made it black and white. And then the Christmas tree was a Canva Christmas tree. And I just kind of took that and positioned it on there and saved it. And I was able to get that design right in Canva. So, you know, it was really, that's such a nice software to have. And, you know, you can do a lot with the free version. I've had the paid version before and it's really good, but right now I just don't have it. But I really do like everything that it can do. It's pretty amazing. And it's especially amazing that they, you know, have it for free and for so many different things that you can, you know, use it for. And then here I am using the little bells. And I'm just going to take them, and I like the way the red and green looks together with the green Noel. And I'm just going to string these on, and no really special placement or anything. I'm just going to get them all lined up. And I'm really happy to use these. I think they come in handy. And those are from, and actually I'm not using the smaller ones. I'm using the ones that I got last year from Dollar Tree, and they have, you know, the tiniest little bells that you can get. And I had to use these because the little tiny bells that you see, they just wouldn't fit into the twine. Now maybe they would have fit into the baker's twine, onto the baker's twine, but I just tried it and I didn't think I liked it too much. So, but these bells, I'll get them lined up and then I'll push them down, push them all together so that they look like berries. And then I'll get this trimmed up and I'll put a knot in the end. And I think I like the way that those bells look, so I'm going to get that knot tied in the end there. Okay. And then we'll trim off the ends, and it's cute. I mean, it just came out really cute. I'm very excited with it. And I do like the words on there. I didn't think I was going to be happy with that, but I'm really enjoying the way that they're turning out. And I'm very happy with them. And here we'll get a chance with this, the little pine tree ornament. And I'm just taking my clippers, my cutters, and I'm cutting off, it's wired. So I'm going to cut these off and take them off and use those in my hanger. And I think those they're from a pumpkin that was at Dollar Tree, probably back in maybe even August or September. And I saw them on the shelf and I just grabbed them because I thought, well, I know I can use a lot of those wooden beads, and I just keep collecting them. I'm getting so many of them, I really need to try to find a way to organize them because they're kind of everywhere in my craft room. Everything needs a bin, and I think it's major for you to organize your craft stuff. Sometimes we don't get the time because we're busy creating, but the organization is important too because it can actually help you just get things put together. You don't want to be fast with it. You want to take your time, but I think it helps take a lot of the stress off of it because you know where everything is, and if it's in a little organizer or a bin, you can just go over to it and put it on your desk or put it on your craft table, and maybe a cart or something too. I have a little cart. They go on sale every so often at Michael's, and I just grab that cart and put it next to me, and I put all my stuff on it, and I do my projects, and then I just roll it back over out of the way. And if somebody comes over, I don't have a bunch of stuff laying around. But I put a loop in here, and I pulled these through, and it's kind of like I guess what you consider a macrame. It's like a lark's head, and I just pulled those beads through, and then I'm just tying up the end here. I think that came out really cute too. But just a little extra color, a little extra something. And I did end up, you know, as I was saying, I ended up doing some of the baker's twine on the other ornaments, and you'll see that at the end when I show all of them, because there's, you know, a lot of them off camera that I didn't show you at this point, but you'll be able to see them at the end. And this little buffalo check bow, I'm I'm determined to use it. And I had, you know, just looked at the bells and I liked them, and then I thought maybe just the little bells weren't enough, and I think this buffalo check is really going to add what I need to this. I just took an extra look at it, and I thought, well, it probably just needs a little something else. A little something something. But I'm putting a tiny bit of glue on there because I realize I don't need all the glue that I always put on things, that a lot of times a little drop will do everything. And I just think that turned out really cute. And I still have my little bow left over, so let's see what we can do with that. All right, and we've got some red ribbon here, and the season's greeting sign or ornament will look good, and it'll give it a little bit of Christmas cheer there. And this too was one of those that I had to really take the Cricut tool, the Cricut tool, I guess, and just, you know, kind of poke some of that wood through, because sometimes the wood just didn't get, you know, done all the way through. So you just have to put the poker in there and get some of the stuff out and get some of the wood out of the way, and then, you know, then you'll be able to get your ribbon through. And we'll just tie a bow, or just try a knot at the end of this and give it a good trim. And I like that too. That's really pretty. And we got a chance to use the red ribbon. And then that red bow looks really good. I like the way that looks. All right. And then we'll tiny dab will do us. Little dab of glue. See, just ever so tiny. And a little bit of pressure on there. I see on my one hand I don't have my little finger cots, and I put my finger on it and I did get burned. So I just sometimes I get so involved I forget. But anyway, here is how they turned out, and I'm just thrilled. I really am. I'm so happy with the way they came out. And there you have it, our wooden slices with sublimation and EasySubli. And I hope you love this video as much as I loved making these ornaments. And if you do make your own, please tag me on Instagram at Twinkle Mentor, and I would love to see how yours came out. And if you love what you see today, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays to you, and I will see you in the next one.